Yes, indeed, folks, we're back with Roblox yet again. I try not to do this all that often because I don't really like browsing the Roblox frontier. It just feels like sifting sand at the beach to try and find a quarter. But occasionally you might luck out and actually find something valuable, like a bottle cap. I've done Roblox videos in the past where I've gone over things like Despicable Forces, a Sonic Forces and Despicable Me crossover that I think is actually better than Sonic Forces itself. Things like Pyrite Adventure 1 and 2, which are extremely impressive projects, and there's a third one on the way, maybe we'll talk about that now. And there's even an official Sonic game on Roblox in the form of Sonic Speed Simulator, which I have not talked about yet, but I have experienced at this point and have some thoughts on. So if you're looking for some Sonic games to play on Roblox that are all completely free, look no further, because today I'm going to show you 5 more Sonic Roblox games that don't make me want to turn my computer off. Before we begin, however, I want to give a huge thank you to the Garrulous tier supporters of this channel, who are Common CJ, Keo Cartoons, and Noah Wizbios. Thank you so much to you guys, you're helping out a lot, and if you want to help out the channel too and get shoutouts at the beginning or end of these videos, check out the join button below the video. Without further ado, here we go. Sonic Speed Simulator, the real official sanctioned Sonic game that Roblox hosts. It was not made by Sega, it was made by a collection of devs that were already working on Roblox games, I believe. And when I heard about this thing originally, I was like, okay, but why? And then I realized a lot of companies actually do this. There are a lot of officially sanctioned Roblox games on here, which I just find kind of strange, but I guess if it's a free game, you might as well have some representation in there. Of course, when I say free game, I'm not referring to the microtransactions, of course. Roblox has always had the Robux/tickets system. Actually, I don't even know if tickets still exist. That was a thing back when I played this when I was a kid. But you could always buy Robux to get exclusive things in certain games or things for your avatar. And Sonic Speed Simulator takes full advantage of this. I'm not going to say that this is a wholly negative thing, because everyone is just working a job. I'm sure the people who made this get paid to do it and get paid with the purchases. So of course they're going to want as many things in there as they can, and I'm sure Sega wants to make money because they are a corporation. But the amount of things that you can buy with real money in this game is staggering. There are daily deals to unlock special characters, there are about 1 million different variants of characters, some of them are familiar from previous games like Sonic Runners, and others are completely new ideas or new costumes for existing characters. The default, just legacy characters are locked behind challenges usually. You can get Shadow the Hedgehog by completing stages in Arsenal Pyramid, I believe. But a majority of characters are either going to cost you red rings, a ton of your time, or you're gonna have to just shell out some real-world currency. But at the same time, the gameplay of this game is actually a little bit addicting, at least once you start moving faster than a slug, at least. When you first start off the game, your goal is to collect these little crystals that are all around Green Hill Zone, and XP as well from completing challenges like time trials, and as you level up, you're going to get faster. And the entire point of the game is to get to the max level, and then reincarnate back to level 0, where you will be slightly faster than you were before, and then do it all over again, and just keep getting faster over time. That's not the part I find addicting. I find that a little bit annoying. I've never been a huge fan of roguelike games. This is sort of like that, where you will start over from the beginning again, except you'll have a little bit more bang for your buck because you'll be sort of faster. I don't know, it feels very mindless to just run around the locations willy-nilly, but also, the game controls pretty nicely at high speeds, so once I got up to a high speed, I really enjoyed running around and just picking things up. But that really is the most gameplay you're gonna get out of this. This is exploring, admittedly, a lot of locations. There have been a lot of levels added to this game, including things from Sonic Forces, Sonic Superstars, and a lot of the classic games. Stuff that is not referenced very often, and makes me wonder if these guys have any restrictions in terms of what they can do, or if Sega has just been very easygoing on it, I don't know. It's really tough to recommend this one, though, because there is a substantial amount of content, but it doesn't boil down to really all that much action. Sure, there are races you can do, there are raid boss fights against Dr. Eggman, You can play as Big the Cat in a little fishing jacket, and I really appreciate that. I don't know, it's tough to say. Like, this is a game that you can get sucked into, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea to do that. That's up to you, I guess. It's all up to how you want to spend your time. This next one is one that I saw referenced in the comment section of the previous Roblox video a lot that I didn't check out because I was mainly looking for 3D fan games, but this time I was just looking for whatever, and I found Classic Sonic Simulator to be rather impressive. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but this thing feels very close to the classic physics, and it's a completely 2D sprite-based game in Roblox, which is not normally like that. You have a level creator that you can share with other people online. You can play other people's custom levels. There are a ton of levels built into this. It's of course basically an MMO because Roblox is a massively multiplayer online game, and there are a ton of playable characters that all sort of have varying degrees of success going through certain locations, such as Dr. Eggman not having a very good time in Green Hill Zone. But it's sort of novel to be running through these stages and whiz by other players who will then catch up with you and run through the stages with you, and, you know, there's probably some communication if you open the chat, but I really wasn't willing to stomach that. And as you can see from my username, I'm also going undercover. No one will know it's me because I've incremented my username by 1 number. There's not a ton to say about this game, really. It's just a really fun experience that I was not expecting. I did run into some lag here and there, and I don't think that was on my end. But yeah, I would say this one's a pretty cool idea to check out. There's no weird microtransaction stuff. It's not an official game, and you can just play whatever you want. I think it's a good time. Now, I'm not mentioning these in any specific order, but I'm trying to keep the best for last, so you can call me a liar all you want. I don't care. Next up, I'm talking Sonic Uprising. This game doesn't have any kind of story. There's no real uprising going on, but it is chock full of 3D reimaginings of classic Sonic zones. The progression seems to be you start in Green Hill Zone, then you go to Marble Zone, and after that, you go to Hilltop Zone, which is not exactly how it was done in the classic games. But I'm willing to look past that because of how much fun it is rolling down hills and doing all of these weird acrobatic tricks with the homing attack. There's also something about this game's visuals that I really can't tear my eyes away from. I'm looking at it right now as I say this. It's got this very interesting retro, almost low poly look to a lot of it, and it's very charming. I don't know, all the characters animate in a very cute little way, like Sonic's feet doing like the pinwheel shape, and it looks very odd in 3D, but it sort of works still. And any game that can take Marble Zone and turn it into an actual fun level to play, I'm gonna say is a success. I think Marble Zone was actually my favorite level in this game, which is incredibly surprising because there are 2 other hill levels that are usually a lot better. But the tight platforming in Marble Zone and the amount of times you could spin dash and skip certain sections feels very much like a Sonic Adventure type deal to me, and you know I love that game, so any game that evokes those kind of feelings, you can just sign me right up, pal. You can also play as Tails, Knuckles, and Super Sonic, but as far as I'm aware, I don't believe Tails and Knuckles really have a whole lot different going for them. They all have the homing attack, and sometimes that's just for the best. That way you don't need to design the levels to be vastly different than what you're expecting, but Knuckles also managed to get himself stuck in some kind of glitchy purgatory while I was playing, and I do feel bad about that, but at the end of the day, he probably deserves it because of that Paramount Plus series. Moving on before people get upset with me. Now, Sonic Expedition is another classic Sonic 3D game, which I know are all the rage these days. We gotta put classic Sonic in 3D, see how he does, and in this one, they take a very unique approach to that. This game is almost Mania or OVA Sonic inspired, where Sonic has all of these extra little animations of him curling into a ball in the air, and it feels like you're playing an animation almost. As is stated in the Sonic Bible, you must begin in Green Hill Zone, but after you get out of this place, you appear in a completely new zone called Relic Ruin. This place is sort of a fusion of Hilltop, Sky Sanctuary, and a whole bunch of rainbows swerving all over the place, taking you where you gotta go. A lot of bloom in this game, but you know, you are up in the sky, closer to the sun, so I guess I'm glad that I'm not just catching on fire randomly. But this is a very big level, filled with multiple pathways you can take, and the physics in this game make it super fun to launch off ramps and end up on different pathways to see how far you can go and how fast you can get through the stages. I think it's got a great sense of speed when you're rolling down hills, and of course, the music and the vibes of the entire project are immaculate. Like I said, playing this thing is almost like playing an animation. I felt like I was really connected directly through this wire connected to my heart. I felt like every time Sonic took damage, it was me on that operating table. It was me that needed to be saved. Please be careful for your Sonic. And this is a weird compliment, but the tutorial level almost felt like the Mania opening credit sequence, and that just put a huge smile on my face. Of course, Mania means a lot to me. That was the whole reason the channel really started booming in the first place. So seeing a game like this, taking those concepts and sort of evolving it into a 3D experience, you've got my vote. I'm not voting for anything right now, but you have it. And I know I said there were 5 Roblox games I was going to talk about today, but I lied to you again, because there's actually a 6th game I'd like to highlight very quickly before we get to the end. This is one that I neglected to gather footage for, because when I was playing it multiplayer, it was sort of the farthest thing from my mind to include it in this video, and I'm not sure why, because it's brilliant. Over here, we have Sonic R-echarged, which is a Sonic R remake in Roblox. And some of you might say, "Oh, Sonic R, I don't want to play that. That game is bad." Bite your tongue. This game is probably the best Sonic racing game we've ever had. People just don't understand how good it is. I talked about the original Sonic R a while back, where I was very surprised to actually be one of the people that think this game is good, because before that I kind of just bought into the big mentality of it not being that great. But oh boy was I wrong. It's an amazing racing game, and honestly, more Sonic racing games should try and be on foot. That makes the most sense for this franchise. Sonic R-echarged is an online 8-player version of Sonic R that feels almost identical to the original, includes a new playable character already, and actually has new levels you can play. When you first play the game, you do have to unlock all of the characters as you do in Sonic R, but if you make a private lobby for yourself, which is free to do, you can unlock every single character by playing the game alone like I did. That way it's not even any trouble. Right here you can see new playable character Honey the Cat, who I think may be the best character in the game currently, because she has a double jump, but it also allows you to redirect all of your momentum to a different direction just by using the jump. So taking tight corners is no longer an issue, and I think it makes it a lot of fun to skip over certain parts of the racetracks. Like, the original courses were not built for this. The new course we played on was a little bit lackluster. It did just feel like a bit of a loop, and then the shortcuts really cut the time in half, so if you weren't using them, it's kind of like a whoopsie, you lost the race instantly kind of deal. They even added a new song to this track from the creator of the original OST, TJ Davis. This is not a song that was in Sonic R, but it's another song from their discography, so it fits right in with the rest of it, and I love this one. I really like this game, and definitely play this with your friends. And finally, the one you may have been waiting for, I played Pyrite Adventure 3, The Trial. I got a lot of comments about this one as well on videos that didn't even involve Roblox, because when I played Pyrite Adventure 1 and 2, I was so impressed that people felt the need to keep reminding me that a third one was coming. I am aware, and I have played it. Quick recap of Pyrite Adventure 1 and 2. Adventure 1 is a sort of reimagining of Sonic 06, which I wasn't too in love with, and Pyrite Adventure 2 was a reimagining of Sonic Adventure 1, which I did find to be rather incredible. So if Pyrite Adventure 1 is Sonic 06 and Pyrite Adventure 2 is Sonic Adventure 1, Pyrite Adventure 3, The Trial, of course, is mimicking Sonic Adventure 2. What a confusing legacy this series has. I'm not gonna pretend I remember who the characters are or what the story is, but I can tell you that playing this game, this is gonna make a lot of people angry, I think, playing this game feels a million times better than playing Sonic Adventure 2 for real. And I know that sucks to say. I'm not trying to just incite violence against myself. The controls, they really spent time making sure these worked in a way that was incredibly satisfying. They also have improved things like the mech shooting stages, where instead of playing in this big bulky mech, you have a character on foot with a gun, sort of like Gamma in Adventure 1, but they move much more like the character that's supposed to represent Shadow the Hedgehog in this game. So platforming all around, I'm gonna get it out of the way, literally 10 out of 10. Like, this is some of the most platforming fun I've had in a Roblox game ever. The speed type gameplay takes place in Radical Highway, and I'm not gonna mince words, it is Radical Highway, you can see it. It's got a completely different level layout though, and the stage lasts a lot longer than Radical Highway. Through it, you'll be bouncing on platforms to get higher ground, you'll be homing attacking across chains of enemies, spin dash jumping past things that you don't want to deal with, all while that music blares in the background and you just have this overwhelming sense of speed. It is so nice. I know you could see it on screen, but I went back and played this multiple times after I was done, which is not something I usually do when I'm making a video like this, because I like to record the gameplay, get the scripts going, record, edit, be done with it. I don't like to hesitate on any one thing, but sometimes it happens, and this is where it was. There is never a moment in this level where you have to slow down. There is always something that will get you back up to top speed, whether it be you spin dashing and then uncurling to get that full speed boost, grinding on rails, hitting a few speed boosts here and there, and then rolling down hills, running on walls. This literally has it all, and it has me so excited to play more of this gameplay style. Now, I quickly mentioned the mech levels have been replaced with an on-foot platforming section. And you do move slower than the Shadow the Hedgehog character, but I don't think it matters that much because the levels are designed in such a way that it feels like you're still going plenty fast. It's still very much about racking up your combos and making sure you get a bunch of robots in your sights before you let go of the button to hit them all at once. But you can still do things like jumping to high ground, skip certain sections. I'm all about these like little skips you can do. That's like very Sonic-y in my opinion. And everything feels so much faster than the mech gameplay because you still have things like a little spin dash option, you have a double jump to get the higher ground and platform easier. And it's not my favorite. It's not the best part of this demo. I already talked about that, but it's still very fun. I saw some people trashing this gameplay style in comments I've gotten about this game. I don't think it deserves that at all. I think it's still a very excellent way to expand on the mech shooting segments, and I think they did it better than Sonic Adventure 2 did. And finally, the third level in the demo, Crazy Canyon, stars the Knuckles equivalent of this game, and we are looking for Master Emerald shards. This gameplay style, it feels very, very similar to SA2. I think it's a little bit faster because the character moves faster. You have a spin dash option and a few more movement options that weren't available in SA2 for Knuckles. But for the most part, it is following the Emerald radar, trying to catch a signal, and then finding the Emerald shards just like Adventure 2. Unlike Adventure 2, unless you're using mods, the radar is able to track multiple emeralds at the same time, which is a huge step up, so technically, again, better than Adventure 2 did it. I still don't know why they restricted the Emerald radar like that. That was really stupid. But this game fixes that problem, and the level is not that big, and I'm hoping the levels won't get a ton bigger than this for this gameplay style, because I feel like that was SA2's biggest problem. When they make the treasure hunting stages absolutely massive, like Mad Space or Meteor Herd, it just stops being fun. So Pyrite Adventure 3, the trial, do I recommend that? Yeah. I don't know if I was giving the opposite impression with all the praise I was just throwing at it, but at least try the speed gameplay level. That has got to be one of the most fun things I experienced while making this video, and probably out of any of these Sonic Roblox games, to be honest. But those are my recommendations for some newish Sonic Roblox games. I don't know how new most of these are, and frankly, I don't care. These are new to me, and that's why I'm calling them that. So that's gonna be all for today. So if you like Sonic Roblox stuff, please let me know down in the comments what your favorite Sonic Roblox game is. I will try to check it out in the future. And if you have anything to say about any of these games, please let us know your thoughts down there as well. If you've come this far in the video and you haven't liked, commented, subscribed, please do so because that will help the channel greatly. And speaking of helping the channel, I would also like to give a huge thank you to my current channel supporters who are Common CJ, Keo Cartoons, Noah Wizbios, Roscoe TGC, Mr. Dreamcast, Nean, Danny Lee Dauber, J. Remy, Dax, Faye, Minty, Mega Traffic Cone, Planet Scratch, Ty Little Tech Guy, Crystal, Dork in a Hat, Gino the Puppet, and Noah Wizbios again. Thank you also to everyone in the $1 tier. I really appreciate every contribution. It means a lot. And if you'd like to join these people getting shoutouts at the beginning or end of these videos, please go ahead and click the join button below the video. You also get things like a badge next to your name in the comments, so your comments stand out more, and you're able to use the emotes from this channel in your comments and on live streams when I do them here on YouTube, which is at least once a week. Thank you so much for watching and letting me indulge in this weird little fantasy I have, and I will see you all next time.